Welcome to Half the Time or Less, a video series where I take tutorials from other channels and return double of what they promised in half the time or less. In today's video, we're going to try to increase the usability and scalability of Blackthornprods random map generator. The tutorial came on recommended a couple days ago, and after a quick skim over, Mans wrote 3 lines of code and created more than twice the necessary game objects to do a simple task in 7 minutes. No disrespect to Noah though. This is an old tutorial and he's a much better game developer than I will ever be. That being said, let's get into it. Create an empty game object in a 2D project of your choice. Then add a script onto that object called random map generator. Wait 3 years for Unity to compile and double click on the script to open it up in your script editor of choice. Delete the 2 comments and the update function. Next, create a new game object array called spawnables. These will be the objects we spawn on our map. Create 2 vector 2s called bottom left and top right respectively. These will define the bounds in which our objects will be spawned. Finally, create an int for the number of objects you want and call it spawnables count. Go into your start function and type 4, then press tab twice to autocomplete the for loop. Then set the max of the for loop to the spawnables count. The for loop will run for every object we want to spawn, and inside of that loop is where we want to put the code to spawn the objects. Inside the loop, create a new int called spawnable array index for the random index we want to sample the spawnables array from. Set this equal to unity engine.random.range from 0 to the length of the spawnables array, which will return a random number that corresponds to an object in the spawnables array. Next, create a new game object variable called g and set it equal to the instantiate function. Inside that instantiate function, type the spawnables array followed by the square brackets and the spawnable array index variable. This will just sample a game object from the spawnables array. For the position we want to spawn the objects from, leave the instantiate function and go back up. Still inside the for loop though, create a vector 2 called pos and set it equal to a new vector 2. For the x input of that vector 2, we will create a random value that ranges from the x of the bottom left and the x of the top right. And for the y position of the vector 2, we will get a random value from the y of the bottom left to the y of the top right. If you think about this, it will just give us a random position in the bounds. Now, set this vector 2 to be the position of the instantiate function. For the rotation, just set it to quaternion.identity. Next, type g.transform.parent is equal to transform. This will set the object we just spawned to be the child of the spawner object. Back into Unity, find all of your prefabs you want to spawn and slap them into the spawnables array. Set the values for your bounds and set the spawnables count to something reasonable, like 60. Play, and there you have a bunch of objects spawned in less than 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Subscribe, like, comment, share, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, and also subscribe to Blackthornprod. See ya.